Hello, my name is Lisa. I'm one of the members of the Village Cannery. Today I'm going to show you a video on what we do to put up pinto beans for our families. Everyone in the family likes it. We consider it a convenience food. We just open a jar of pinto beans, put some cornbread in the oven, fried potatoes. That's a meal. Quick, easy meal. And so there's 7 of us in the group. So this is what we do. We've done our research. We've watched what USDA says, and we follow USDA guidelines. And so what I have is I have my, let me tilt my camera so you can see what I've got going. So I have my pinto beans here that I have soaking in my water until I get ready to put them in the jar. Then I have my ham broth, which I made from a ham that we cooked for Sunday dinner. I saved the bones, I boiled them down and made a broth to go over our beans. And then I have salt, which is optional. You don't have to put salt in it. Salt's for flavor. So I have 4 jars that I've already started putting beans in. So I'm going to put them out here. And then I've got my canners on behind me heating up. So now I'm going to fill up the rest of my jars. Real quick here. Some people say you have to pre-soak your beans. USDA has it in the book that you can do it either raw or you can do it pre-soaked. For pinto beans, I've found that pre-soaking is really not necessary. They swell up and do just fine. So now I've got my jars full. All 12 of my jars, I've got them full. So now I'm going to set them right here. To each one of these jars, I'm now going to add my little bit of salt. So I'll add some salt to each jar. And it's half a teaspoon to each jar. You don't need to add a whole lot of salt, but salt gives the beans flavor. And you don't have to put broth on your beans. You can it without broth. But I find that if you can it with the ham broth, that it gives it really good flavor. So now I'm going to add my ham broth. And what this is going to do, it's beans, hot broth. Here in a second I'm going to show you the debubbling stage. But this, go to 1/2 inch headspace right up there to the rim, to right here. And This makes for a good supper when you don't know what else to cook and everyone's hungry. Want food. So I will I'm going to show you what we do next, and then I'll come back and finish filling these jars. So the next step after we do that, after you get the beans, and as you can see there's beans coming up. Let me get a spoon. So we have some floaters, so we're going to take those floaters out. We don't want them in our beans here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our debubbler stick and we're going to debubble, make sure there's no bubbles. Technically wouldn't have to do this with pinto beans, but it's a step that you should practice whenever you're canning. Debubbling. Now that we've got it debubbled, and I'm going to dip my paper towel here, and I'm going to go around the tops of my lid ring, my jar, with my finger, with this paper towel and vinegar, making sure that there's no nicks or no debris on the rims. And then I'm going to take my jar and my ring and my lid and put them on the jars here. And then I'm going to, forgot my Sharpie. This step you don't have to do, but this is a step that we do. We write on our jars before we put them in the canner. That way we don't forget that step. So I will bring you back as soon as I am done filling up all these jars. And then we will talk about putting them in the pressure canner, because we have to pressure can these beans. Okay, so I've got all of my jars filled now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my jars in my canners that I've got set up over there. And these are my 2 Presto canners. And so I've got the canners ready, the jars are ready, they've been finger tight. Now I'm going to put my jars with the hot broth in my canners. And then after I get that done, I'm going to pause and I will be back with you whenever we get steam. And then when we get done steaming, I'll come back when we're ready to take them out. But this is not that hard of a process. It's pretty easy, actually. Pretty rewarding when you can open up a jar and put some cornbread together and fry up some potatoes. Makes for a nice meal. And as my husband says, it will be very tasty. He really likes pinto beans. I personally can't eat them for health reasons. But it makes it nice for him because on a day when I don't want to cook much, I can open up a jar of these pinto beans and heat them up and make cornbread and fried potatoes, and makes it easy for him. So I will be back with you as soon as I put the lids on, and when the steam comes out, we will come back and I will. So on the canner, I've already looked. You can see through the holes. This is a new gauge. You can see through the vent hole, and the rubber gasket's good. So I'm gonna put this one on, and we'll watch for steam. And when steam comes out, I will come right back and we will set our timers. So we have steam coming out of our canners now. So I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes, and then when the timer's done, I'll come back. And I will see you when the beans are done. We have to pressure can them for 90 minutes because it's beans, and it's got beans pressure canned for 90 minutes like you would meat, especially if you do it in a quart jar according to USDA procedures. So I will come back when they're ready to be pulled out of the canner.